What's up, reefers? Welcome to my new episode of Alex Explorer Corals. And today I want to talk a little bit about Caribbean pulsing Xenia. And before I get to that, though, I would like to mention a little bit about my travels. First off, I'm have dual U.S. Mexican citizenship, and that was extended to me because my mom was born in Mexico, so they extended the citizenship to the second generation. And so I was there I did a little diving in Puerto Vallarta over here on the Puerto Vallarta on the Pacific side, and I'm a certified diver, but I'm only dove a few times, and I'm not a huge fan. I always find it extremely cold, even even with the wetsuit on, of course. But even snorkeling, I'll find it cold. I remember just like on the very surface, it would be warm in the summer, but then you go down just a couple meters, and it'd be chilly to me. So I have a choice. I prefer to snorkel. But anyway, that's one of the reasons why I love aquariums so much is that, to enjoy the animals and everything, I don't have to go diving every day. So, that's why a lot of people too, why we enjoy aquariums so much. Um, so I have my dove just a few times here off the California coast, Central Coast, as well as the Channel Islands, and saw some, the like what they call the kelp forests and kelp ecosystems with all of the. I saw some Garibaldi orange damselfish that were really nice, and like the same characteristics as the small blue damsels that we're accustomed to, of course, and everything, but they're larger cousins, the orange Garibaldi damsels. And so in Puerto Vallarta, though, I remember seeing schools of hundreds and hundreds of the large king angelfish, and as well as the razor surgeons, and as well as a few more idols. Not too many, but anyway, that was a lot of fun. And I also lived a year and a half in Playa del Carmen, and in Playa del Carmen, that's just south of Cancun on the Caribbean. And over there, I'm used to snorkel about every once in a while. And I remember seeing like pairs French angels that were spectacular. Lots of thread fin butterflies, lots of butterflies. Um, I remember there was lots of fields, huge fields of elkhorn corals that had grown straight right up to the very surface of the water, but that they had all died back. They were all dead. I assume it was from elevated temperatures, from global warming, possibly, yes, slightly elevated temperatures, and they died off. But of course, there was lots of other. Well, that those areas there, they seemed darker, and they were didn't have that as many fish around it. Whereas the other areas with other corals and everything, there was a lot more fish and everything around those. And I also remember seeing lots of hair algae, and all through there too. So it's a big thing in the ocean, and that's why it's in the aquarium, because there's lots of it in the ocean. And I also remember seeing pulsing Xenia, and I was kind of surprised because I had thought that it was native to the Pacific, right, not to the Caribbean Atlantic. And so as far as I've heard, that's true. So it looks, and that means that it's been introduced, and as we know with the with the pulsing Xenia in our aquarium, so that they are quite prolific and grow very well, especially in areas that have you know, higher nutrients and a lower flow, right? Because I guess they evolved the special ability to pulse their polyps like that, so they could survive in super low um, flow water, possibly even in like some tide pool type environments for a while, right? And so there's probably lots of pulsing Xenia then out there in the Caribbean to get. um, so so that was back in 2005, and so anyway, I had a great time doing the snorkeling over there and everything, and I had a business over there that it was the Salad Internet Cafe. Anyway, I sold that and decided to come back here to the States and everything, and got resettled over here in Bakersfield. Anyway, one of the things that we have a saying in Spanish, you probably heard right, is that lo barato sale caro. And that means that cheap turns expensive, and a lot of time that's really cheap. I mean, true. A lot of things in the hobby, right, with reef aquariums, whether it be cheap rock, cheap salt, cheap lighting, cheap aquarium itself, cheap filtration, cheap protein skimmer. It ends up being expensive in the long run. We got cheap food. So that the best food is refrigerated, fresh foods. For efficient corals, and after that would be frozen food, right? It's just that if you got when you're working with frozen food, one of the most important things to remember is that you can't refreeze it. Well, if you do, you unfreeze it and then you refreeze it. It becomes refrozen. It loses a big part of its nutritional value is lost. So that's an important thing to remember. And the guys who are working with the food, they know that, right? Or with frozen food is a supply chain that if any time during transit, especially if the food has thawed out before it gets to you, then the nutritional value of it is greatly lost as refrozen food. So anyway, that's just another tip to look out for. And so I guess that's about it for today. But happy reefing. And oh yeah, one thing at these. The painting behind me, that was also done by this Avramov family, and they're also from Playa. They have a studio there in Playa del Carmen. So I'd like to thank them for their excellent paintings that they have supplied me. I'm a really big fan of theirs as well. So thank them and for that. It was great paintings. I really enjoy them. Okay, that's it. Bye.